Shalom Lachem. As you know, today we are over 150 days for the war, and we continue to study in honor and for the success of the heroes of Am Israel, the IDF soldiers, that Hashem will be with them, and they will bring the big victory very, very soon. They are on the way. Remember, Purim is Amalek. We are fighting with Amalek. And of course, we are praying for all the kidnapped people to come back in good health. And last but not least, Refuah Shlema for all the Ptsuim, all the people that got injured in the war. They are in the hospital or their home. Hashem Yishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema. Today, my dear friend, I have a siyum. In my kollel, I study Masechet Bechorot, and we have siyum on Thursday night. So I was reading, a lot of commentary about what is the essence of siyum, the ending. When you end the Masechet in Gemara, you have Seudat Mitzvah, and it's a big event, big celebration. And then what I discovered, there is a strong connection between Siyum and Purim. So I was working very, very hard on this to put it, on the computer, to put all the sources. And I said I will share it with you to see the connection between Siyum Masechet and Chodesh Adar and Purim. Okay? So let's start. In Masechet Ta'anit, page 29, it says line 2, Mishenichnas Av mema'atin besimcha. When Av begins, you diminish the happiness. That's the quote from the Mishnah. However, Amar Rav Yehuda bred Rav Shmuel bar Shilat Mishmei derav. Rav Yehuda says, Keshem shemishenichnas Av mema'atin besimcha, כך משנכנס אדר מרבים בשמחה. The Yud do the same. We compare Chodesh Av to Chodesh Adar. He said the same way you diminish the happiness on Av, you increase the happiness on Adar. So when you ask regular people, what do you think, what Masechet is, משנכנס Adar מרבים בשמחה, most of the people will tell you Masechet Megillah. They think it's in Masechet Megillah. It's not in Masechet Megillah. It's in Masechet Ta'anit. Dafka in the halachot of Tisha B'Av, we're learning about the happiness of Purim. That's very, very interesting. Amar RAV Papa, so he said, there is a question in parentheses here. He said, how you implement the mitzvah of Marbin Besimcha? What you do? Amar RAV Papa, הלקח בר ישראל דאית לדינה בהדה נוכרי, להשתמד מיני באב דרע מזלה ולמצא נפש באדר דבריה מזלה. So Rav Papa says, if you're going to the court with a goy, don't do it during the month of Av, because that's not a good month for us. Go in Chodesh Adar. Chodesh Adar, the mazal, is big for you. That's what Rav Papa add to the halacha. So to conclude, the Mishnah mentioned only Chodesh Av, but Rav Yehuda add, in the same way you diminish the happiness in Av, you increase the happiness in Adar. And then we ask the question, how you implement the Simcha in Adar? So he said there is nothing very specific, but he said if you have a court, you have you have din, you have judgment, with a goy, don't do it in month of Av, do it in month of Adar. The good luck of the Jewish people is in Adar. Yeah? So that's Hagaon, Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky. He has a book called Derech Sicha. So look what Rav Kanievsky said in line 10. Now he's talking about how to implement the Simcha. What you do? You dance hora? What you do? So line 10, אם יש לו סיום או שמחה, יראה שיעשנה בחודש אדר. He said, if you study Gemara and you feel that you are very close to the end, try to end the Masechet in the month of Adar. So if you have month of Adar Siyum, what you do? You do Sudat Mitzvah. When you do Sudat Mitzvah, you're singing songs and you are happy. That's the way you implement, you increase the Simcha in Chodesh Adar. V'im en lo Simcha, not everybody can finish Gemara on Chodesh Adar. ישתה קצת יין בתחילת החודש. So you have to drink a little bit of wine in the beginning of the month. So when you drink wine, usually יין ישמח לבב אנוש. When you drink good wine, make you happy. So according to Reb Chaim Kanievsky, to conclude, he said, if you have to apply or to implement Simcha in Chodesh Adar, what you should do, try to end up to make siyum of the Masechet in Chodesh Adar. That's the way you implement Simcha, because in siyum, you always is a big celebration. But this is advice. This is not halacha. This is a good advice how to increase Simcha in Chodesh Adar. And Rab Kanievsky said, if you don't have siyum, you take a little bit of wine on Rosh Chodesh, and yain is samach lav v'nosh, you are happy. I don't have it here, but I know Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky put in his book that his father, a stipler, the big stipler, the big Rav Kanievsky, his father, every Rosh Chodesh he drank a little bit of wine. But in Rosh Chodesh Adar, he drank a little bit more than any other month. You understand? So every Rosh Chodesh he should be happy. He drank a little bit of wine. But in Chodesh Adar, if he drank a little bit, of wine, 10 ounces of wine, so he drank on Chodesh Adar 20 ounces of wine. That's the way he expressed his Simcha in Rosh Chodesh Adar. So what we see here, what the surprise, I didn't know this. Believe me, just a week ago I discovered this. He said there is a strong connection between Siyum Masechet and the month of Adar and in Purim. Now let's say, I don't know how many of you had the chance to go to Siyum. You had somebody who was saw Siyum? You saw Siyum?
Yes.
Alicia, you saw Siyum?
Many times.
Yes.
Yeah? What do you remember from the Siyum?
Bar Papa.
Ah, very good, very good. That's what we're going to learn today. Did you ever ask why Bar Papa, Bar Papa?
Yes.
Like Shah.
You got an answer?
No.
Stand Papa like a word, like a Shah.
Yeah, but why Papa? How many children Rav Papa had?
It's a rabbi. Rabbi.
So listen now. Today we will learn why. Why we said, look, it says here. We said, יהי רצון מלפניך השם אלוקינו ואלוקי אבותינו, שתהא תורתך אומנותנו בעולם הזה, ותהא עמנו לעולם הבא. כן? Now, he started to say, חנינה בר פאפה, רמי בר פאפה, נחמן בר פאפה, אחי בר פאפה, אבא מורי בר פאפה, רפרם בר פאפה, רחיש בר פאפה, סורחה בר פאפה, עדה בר פאפה, דרו בר פאפה. How many children? I put number.
10. There's a number. 10.
10.
Yes.
You see? Is it remind you something on Purim?
Yes.
What?
Son Haman.
He said, Lehavdil. He said, we have Aseret Bnei Haman and we have Aseret Bnei Papa. Lehavdil, you see the Kedusha and the Tumah. But here you find the first, it's just a hint. You will be surprised by the end of the Shi'ur, what I'm going to share with you. But now, of course, the big question is, why every time we make a Siyum, we mention all the 10 children of Rav Papa. What's so unique about them? About Rav Papa? Okay? So I opened the Gemara in Masechet Ketubot, page 77. Okay, page 77, and look about his oldest one. Who is the oldest one of Rav Papa? Look in number 1, 919. What's his name? Hanina Bar Papa. Okay? He was a very unique person. So look line 26. I'm going to the Gemara. Rabbi Hanina Bar Papa Shushvine Hava. You know what is Shvene Ava? It's very weird. He was a good friend of the angel of death. He said, was a very, very close friend of angel of death. They were very good friends. And they used to talk like good friends. Angel of Malach HaMavet and Rabbi Hanina bar Papa. Ki hava karnicha nafshe. And when the time of Rabbi Hanina was to die, to say goodbye, כן? אמרו לה למלאך המוות, זלעבד לרעותה. כן? He said to him, to the מלאך המוות, לך תעשה לו כל מה, he's your friend, listen to his wishes, and do whatever he asks from you to do. They said, the מלאך המוות is asking, like to Rabbi Hanina, what do you want me to do for you? Aza legabe, he went to מלאך המוות, and he appeared to him. Amar le, Rabbi Hanina said to the angel of Malach HaMavet, to the angel of death, Shavki tlatin yomin ad nahadar talmudai. But he said, give me 30 more days. Why? I want to repeat all the Torah that I have learned. I would like to review. Okay? Because I don't want to forget. Hey, mister, you're going to die. What he said, what do you have to forget? But he said, I want to review my Torah. I need 30 days. Give me for 30 days. What do you think the angel of death said to them? שאומרים, אשרי מי שבא לכאן ותלמודו בידו. When you go to עולם הבא, he said, praise is the person that going to עולם הבא and his Torah is with him. So now you see the strong connection between Rabbi Hanina bar Papa and the Talmud. So if you mention Rabbi Hanina bar Papa, that makes sense. Because Rabbi Hanina bar Papa was talking about how to go with the Torah at the end of your life to Olam Haba. But why all the other 9 brothers? Is the question clear?
Yes.
So he said, we have 10 children. He said, okay, with Rabbi Hanina bar Papa we understand. But why we mention all the 10 children? Okay, now there is a book called Kovetz Oraita. The author is Rabbi Shimon Polonsky. And he says, in the Gemara you will find 10 times dispute between rabbis. And then after the 2 rabbis dispute each other, RAV Papa came and he gave his psak, his halacha. What he said, look at Talmud, Masechet Berachot, page 59. I'll give you an example. Ba'amar, they said, you see Aleph, Bet, Gimel. We have 10 of them. So I would like to give you introduction. Every time RAV Papa saw that 2 rabbis dispute each other, you know what he did? I tell you what he did. Because he loves the rabbis so much, he said, both of you right. And because he said both of you right, we have to follow the 2 rabbis together. How? I'll give you an example. Example number 1 is Brachot, page 59. You have line 9? Everybody see line 9?
Yes.
Okay. ואמר רבי אלכסנדרי, אמר רבי יהושע ben Levi, הרואה את הקשת בענן. Do you know when you see the rainbow in the cloud, you have to make bracha?
Bracha, yes.
Yes, there is a bracha. The Gemara asks, "Mai mevarech?" What bracha you should do? He says, Rabbi Yoshua says, Baruch Zocher HaBrit. Baruch Zocher HaBrit. But Matnita Teneh Rabbi Ishmael bno של Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, Rabbi Ishmael says, no, he said, Ne'eman bivrito ve'kayam b'ma'amaro. So what the dispute? The mahloket, to repeat. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi said, if you see the rainbow in the cloud, you said, Baruch Zocher HaBrit. Nachon? What Rabbi Ishmael says? No, Ne'eman bivrito ve'kayam b'ma'amaro. Now, RAV Papa would like to make peace in the house, Shalom Bayit. You know what RAV Papa says? Amar RAV Papa, hilkach nimrin hu letarvayu. We have to follow both of them. Both of them are right. What bracha? Do you know what bracha you do on the rainbow?
We say both of them.
He said both of them. Baruch Zocher HaBrit, Ne'eman bivrito ve'kayam b'ma'amaro. You understand who is RAV Papa? RAV Papa loves Talmidei Hachamim, he can never say they are so kedoshim that he said he respects them so much that every time he saw dispute, how he makes shlom bayit, he combined both of them together. Hilkach nimrinu letarvai, we follow both of them. That's number one. I'll give you another example. When you go out the bathroom, you have a bracha? Asher yatzar. Who made the bracha? Now listen. We said, when you go out of the bathroom, said, Asher yatzar et האדם בחוכמה, וברא בו נקבים נקבים, חלולים חלולים, גלו בידו לפני כיסא כבודיך, שאם ייפתח אחד מהם או יסתח אחד מהם, אי אפשר לעמוד לפניך. מהי חתים? Now the Gemara asks, how you end up the bracha? אמר רב, רופא חולים. Rav, he said, Baruch Ata Hashem Rofeh Cholim. That's the way you do? No. Amar Shmuel, Kashavinu Abba Lechule Alma Ktsira Ela Rofeh Chol Basar. Rav Sheshet Amar Mafli La'asot. So one said Rofeh Chol Basar instead of Rofeh Cholim, and one said Mafli La'asot. So you do Rofeh Chol Basar or Mafli La'asot? Who?
All of them.
All of them. Who said to do all of them? RAV Papa. Amar RAV Papa, Hilkach namrinu letarvayu, rofeh chol basar, mafli la'asot. Now you see how he makes shlom bayit. He makes shlom bayit. We said we follow the two rabbis. That's the way he does for 10 times. I'm going to the third case. Now before, let's say you burn up a tree, a wood, before Shabbat, okay? So how much of the wood should be on, the light should be on, that you allowed, that you can leave it for Shabbat? How much of it? How much of the wood? What percentage? Zomer Etzi Hidi, Rav Amar, Rov Ovyo, if the majority of his thickness is burned out, is said that it's okay. The Amrela, and there are other rabbis says, yes, Shomrim, Berov Hekofo. What is Hekofo? You surround just the surrounding of the wood you're going. It's better, it's much easier than to go to the thickness. The thickness is the inside. But he said, no, you don't have to go to the thickness of the wood. It's just to go around. What RAV Papa says? Do you go to the thickness or to surround around the wood? Amar RAV Papa, because there is a doubt, you follow the thickness and you follow the surrounding. Both of them. You see, another case, of the wood that he said to follow, to combine two rabbis together. Number 4. The number 1 and 2, it's for us good because we're using it daily on a daily basis. Number 3, about the wood on Shabbat, we're not using, but just to show you which piece that he made shlom bayit. שלאחריה מה מברך, ברוך אתה השם, האל הרב את ריבנו והדן את דיננו, והנוקם את נקמתנו. When you finish מגילת אסתר, כן? You finish. There is a bracha after? Yes, there is a bracha. Don't go home before you finish the bracha, otherwise it is not יוצא. There is a bracha before, על מקרא מגילה, and after this you have, the הרב את ריבנו והדן את דיננו. So, Baruch Ata Hashem, you seal the bracha, you end up the bracha, and Nifra Israel mikol tzarehem. Rava Amar, but Rava says, Ha'el Moshiach. Ma RAV Papa will say? Guess?
Both of them.
Both of them. Amar RAV Papa, El kach nimriu letarvayu. We have to follow both of them. And you follow in this Purim, follow your Sidur, open your Sidur, you will see Baruch Ata Hashem הנפרע לישראל מכל צריהם האל המושיע. So both of them in the bracha. Because of whom? Because of RAV Papa. So look why we said RAV Papa 10 times. Now the number 5, we said מתי מברכים על הגשמים? כשיצא חתן לקראת כלה, מה מברך? אמר רבי יהודה אמר רב, מודים אנחנו לך. השם אלוקינו על כל טיפה וטיפה שהורדת לנו. ורבי יוחנן מסיים באחי אילו פינו מלא שירך הים ולשנינו רינה כמון גליו. עד אל יעזבונו רחמך השם אלוקינו ולא עזבונו. ברוב ההודעות. Now I'm going to the end of the bracha. Okay, when you see rains. רוב ההודעות ולא כל ההודעות. He said רוב ההודעות. Most, the majority of the thanking. Not all the הודעות. אמר רבא, אמה אל ההודעות. He said, so one says אל ההודעות, and one says כל רוב ההודעות, or כל ההודעות. Rav Papa said, הילקח נמרינו לתרוויהו. We have to say when you see the rain, this bracha, אל ההודעות ורוב ההודעות. He said both of them. The God of the thinking, you know, and the majority of the אל ההודעות ורוב ההודעות. You know when we say this, by the way, is after ערבית של שבת. You know, we said אל ההודעות אדון הנפלאות. You know, after 18, in תפילת in ערבית של שבת. But Rav Papa, what I would like to show you, that Rav Papa never said you right and you wrong. He always combined the two rabbis, and he was a posek. And he made the psak that you should make the bracha according both of them. It's called tarvayu. Tarvayu means both of them. מה הייתה מה לא מעולי בהתאמה משום חולשה דו רוחה?
בשמיים.
What?
Rav Papa would be good to make between Rav Hillel ושמיים.
רגע, I don't...
הלל and בית שמאי.
Who is speaking now?
Bar Papa would have done peace between them.
Can, but who is talking now?
Esther.
Esther, can you put the volume a little bit higher? Your volume?
Yes?
Oh, now it's a little better. What did you say?
I said a joke that Bar Papa should make peace between Rav Hillel and Rav Shammai.
נכון, but in these 10 places is not Hillel and Shammai. Is other rabbis, but the same style. But Hillel and Shammai, I tell you why. Sometimes you cannot get both of them together. For instance, I'll give you said Hillel and Shammai. How we light the Hanukkah? You said 1, 2, 3, 4 or 8, 7, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And but Shammai says,
8, 7, 6.
so we cannot go both of them.
No.
You understand?
We have to
But
make
Rav Papa is taking in all the cases that you can do both of them together. There is no contradiction. But now, do you know in the desert, what we didn't do, what mitzvah we didn't do?
Brit Milah.
Brit Milah, because it was dangerous. So see, all this in Masechet Yevamot is talking about the Brit Milah, why we don't do brachot, what we don't do. So now he says, you know, when Rav Papa says, look, Rav Papa in line 18, Hilkach Yoma De'eva Yom Unan, Yom Sheruach, because I tell you, there is a called north wind and south wind. You ever heard this expression? The north wind is a good wind because without the north wind, there is a risk on the baby. And they missed the north wind in the desert. They had only south wind. But now Rav Papa says, because there are some people south wind, north wind, he says, Hilkach Yoma De'eva, when you have a cloudy day, V'yoma and Deshuta, and one day the south wind is in control, Lo Ma'alinan Be, you don't make Brit Milah if you don't have either cloudy day or south wind. Don't do Brit Milah. Why? Because it's Pikoch Nefesh. You cannot take to be very strict because it's as dangerous for the baby. So he took the two opinion and he said no cloudy day and no southern wind. Another case. Number 7. שליח ציבור, in מסכת סוטה, page 40. אומר מודים העם. מה הם אומרים? אמר רב, מודים אנחנו לך, השם אלוקינו, שאנחנו מודים לך. We thanking you. מודים אנחנו לך. We thank you, השם. ושמואל אמר, אלוהי כל בשר על שאנו מודים לך. ורב סימה אמר, יוצרנו יצר בראשית על שאנו מודים לך. נהרדה אמרת, look how many opinions. משמי דרב סימה, ברכות והודעות לשמך הגדול, על שחייתנו וקיימתנו. That's what we know from 18, נכון? ברכות והודעות לשמך הגדול, על שחייתנו וקיימתנו, על שאנו מודים לך. בזמן ששליח ציבור אומר מודים, העם אומר מודים, so Rav Papa says, I'm going to skip to Rav Papa. Rav Papa said, you have to follow both of them. So we do in מודים, we say ברכות והודאות, לשמך הגדול על שחייתנו וקיימתנו. Another case, I do it very quick because we don't do it today.
I have a question about Modim.
You have a question on Mudim? Okay, let's just finish now. I have 3 more. What?
Why?
What you have on Mudim?
Okay, why the Hazan and the Hazara, he repeats the same Modim as...
Okay, there are 2 Mudim. There is Mudim of Shmona Israel, Mudim de Rabbanan. The other Mudim of reputation is called Mudim de Rabbanan. So when you have a minyan, you don't do Mudim de Rabbanan if you don't have tzibur.
Yes.
So when you do it quietly on yourself, by yourself, you say the regular Mudim. But when you do on tzibur, you do Mudim de Rabbanan, that you have different nosach, that it's more for public. When you do silent Amidah, you do the Hazan, he's doing only the Mudim that you do in silent Amidah.
Himself. Okay.
Okay, so that's for tzibur and this is, but both of them are very, very important. Both of them. That's why it's good to go to minyan. If you are home, you cannot do mudim de rabbanan. Now Masechet Hulin. Oh, that's very complicated. Wow. But let's try to do it. I'll try to do it. Not slowly and not too fast. But because we have to go to the rest. He said, Nitla kaved. ולא נשתער ממנה כלום. The liver of the cow, okay? The liver of the cow, is removed from the animal. The question is, without the liver, if the cow is pure, kasher, or לא kasher. So, נתלה כבד ולא נשתער ממנה כלום. If the kaved, the liver, was removed from the cow, he said, the Gemara said, נשתער ממנה כלום. That אומרת, you can eat the cow, that means, the liver is not a case to make the behemah taref. Because he says, nitla kaved, you eat. If nitla kaved, that means kaved is not like part of the cow. That's why the behemah is kasher, is kshera. Af al gav, the law have a kezait. Even you don't have a liver the size of an olive. That means, you don't have any liver. You have a little bit less than the kazait, less than olive. V'hatnan, but we learn in the Mishnah, ניטל הכבד ונשתייר המנה כזית כשרה. הרי מבואר, it says in the Mishnah, it says it's not kosher. And now you say it's kosher. It's kasher or לא kasher? אלא אם כן נשאר מן הכבד לפחות כזית. So on one side you see the liver make it kasher, and the one side without the liver is not kosher. So it's kasher or not kasher? What do you say? Rav Yosef says, line 5, lo kashya. It's not contradiction. Don't worry, I will tell you what they've said. Mishnatenu, our Mishnah, סוברת שאפילו אם נשאר משהו מהכבד, if even is something left over from the כבד, is כשרה. זה according whom? Not according all the rabbis, according Rabbi Chia. Rabbi Chia says that, if even if you have a little bit kaved, over there, it's kasher. But the Mishnah is not like Rabbi Chia. Mishnah soveret, the Mishnah said that the liver should be at least the size of an olive. If it's less than olive, it's not kasher. But you need, let's say the kaved, the liver sometimes is shrinking, right? Is reducing itself. But if the liver reducing itself, less than kazait, according to Rabbi Chia is kosher, not according to the Mishnah. The Mishnah said it's not kosher. So that's why Rav Yosef said it's not contradiction. This is Rabbi Chia, and this is the Mishnah. Everybody has his own opinion. Rabbi Shimon bar Abi, הגמרא מוכיחה שרבי חייא ורבי שמעון dispute. They have dispute over this. So what you do, I'm going to skip all this, it's pilpul, the siha. RAV Papa, you see, red and yellow. Hilkach, therefore, that you have to do what? to go with Rabbi Chia or the Mishnah? Both of them. That means you need the liver inside with the size of kazait. Bimkom mara. Oh, I don't know what to say. I wanted to check what is mara. Somebody know what is mara in Spanish?
Amargo. Amargo.
Mara is next to the liver. Next to the liver there is a mara.
Vesícula, ¿no? Vesícula, eso.
ובעינן וצריך גם שישתהר כזית במקום שיחיה. So you know you need kazait this way. You know Rav Papa said you have to follow both of them and he make another shlom bait. Now do you know what is hagav? Locust. You know what is locust? In 10 plagues we have the locust.
Yes. Yes, las langostas en Egipto.
Yes, arbe. It's called hagavim. Is it kosher or not?
I think one type of them were kosher.
You know, my wife telling me she remember very, very well in Morocco that they use it was like we eat ice cream. They used to sell it in the street. You know, it was something very, very dear. And my parents told me in Yemen also some people, but like you said, Martha is very clear, the good that you mentioned, not depend which one. You know, it's like fish. Not all the fish is kosher. There are some fish is kosher, some fish is not kosher. The same thing about hagavim. hagavim is like the locust. אז הוא אומר, כל שיש לו 4 רגליים ו4 כנפיים. He has to have 4 legs and 4 wings. כן? וקרצולים וכנפיו חופים את רובו. When he cover himself, his body, the wings should cover most of the body. My rubo, what is majority? How you measure every hagav you measure him? My rubo, what is majority? Amar Rav, rov orko, the most of his length. Va'amrela, and some rabbi says, no, again, rov ekefo, you go and surround it. Not the length, but hakafa, you round it. You surround. Amar Rav Papa, what Rav Papa says? Hilkach ba'ina, rov orko, you should have the majority of the length, and you have the majority of the hakafa, of the surrounding. And that's the kashrut of the hagavim. You have to follow both of them. Another case of shlom bait. That's number 9. We are, Rabotai, my dear friend, we are in number 10. That's very, very interesting. There is a book called Alenu Leshabeach. If you remember Rav Yoshiv, one of Gdolei Ador, he said it on behalf of the Gaon Mevina. What he said, בברכות התורה. Now, ברכות התורה also, מהי מברך? What ברכה? אמר רב יהודה, אמר שמואל, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו, לעסוק בדברי תורה. נכון? ברכות השחר, we say. רבי יוחנן מסיים בה, האחה. רבי יוחנן end up the ברכה differently. הערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו. ובפי פיות עמך בית ישראל. ונהיה אנחנו בצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ועוסקי תורתך, ברוך אתה השם, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. You hear what he says? Now, wow, that's a long one. So again, I'm saying, you know what he said. So Rav Yehuda, on behalf of Shmuel, he said, אשר קידשנו מצוותיו לעסוק בדברי תורה. That's it. Rabbi Yohanan, he said, no, you have to say, וערבנה all this paragraph until ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה השם נותן התורה. Now listen to this. Who is the one? Who should be the next rabbi?
RAV Papa.
Yeah, now it's not Rav Papa. Listen. Amar Rav Himnona. You see the red and yellow?
Yes.
אמר רב המנונה, זוהי מעולה שבברכות. ילקח למרינו לכולו. There is not a bracha better than ברכות התורה. This is the best of the best. So you know what you should do? You should do everything. According to Rabbi Yohanan, according to everybody, do the whole bracha. If you do ברכות השחר, you know, ברכות התורה is a long one. It's not like when we make aliyah. ברכות השחר, the ברכות Torah is a longer one. And that's, so who made Shlom Bayit this time?
Rav Hamnuna.
Rav Himnona. But how you put it under the term of Rav Papa? So according to Rav Papa, how many we had? 9. So listen, Arif and Arosh, two great rabbis, poskim, Gdolei Ador, he said, it's not Rabbi Nona, it's RAV Papa. It's mistake. And now, according the Rif and the Rosh, this is number 10 because it's not Rabbi Nona. According their Nosach, is RAV Papa, is not Rabbi Nona. So now, according the Rif and the Rosh, how many halachot we had on behalf of RAV Papa? 10. You agree? 10. I'm not sure we understand all the 10. Most of them are very clear. Some of them we have to make shiur on each one of them, especially about the liver. The liver is very complicated. You have to understand the whole kashrut of the cow. But at least we know that RAV Papa said we have to follow both of them. So at kan, yesh lanu 10 mimrot. So until now we have 10. Now I'm going to Masechet Ta'anit. As we started the shiur. Remember, מי שנכנס אב ממעטין בשמחה. כן? When Yav comes, begins, you diminish the שמחה. אמר רב יהודה אמר שמואל, משמי דרב, משום שנכנס אב ממעטין בשמחה, כך מי שנכנס אדר מרבין בשמחה. When the same way you diminish the שמחה in Av, you increase the שמחה in Adar. Now, who comes? אמר RAV Papa. Now, RAV Papa, Hilkach bar Israel, de'it ledina ba'ad nochri. Remember what he said, if you have a court judgment with a goy, when you should do it?
Adar.
An Adar. And that's the way you increase Simcha. Now, there is a big question here. I don't know if you have it in mind, but now, Hilkach אומר כאן, look, שין is שאלה. לא בא להכריע ולפסוק, RAV Papa now he make a פסק הלכה, you must go to the court on Purim, on Adar? It's not הלכה בכלל. RAV Papa לא בא להכריע ולפסוק, he didn't come to give פסק הלכה, he just gave us a new הלכה, חידוש, that is suggestion, if you have a court, go on חודש אדר. אבל באמת, indeed, there is no dispute here. What is the dispute in this one? Rav Yehuda says, but the Mishnah says, מי שנכנס אב ממעטין בשמחה, נכון? When Av is entering, you should decrease the simcha. And Rav Yehuda said, in Chodesh Adar, also you increase simcha. There is any dispute here? There is no dispute. So why you put this as a dispute, as RAV Papa, also to come to make Shlom Bayit? What kind of Shlom Bayit is this? All the other 10 that we have learned before, Mamash was Mahloket, dispute. So he said to go according both of them. But what we have to do here, there is no Mahloket. So listen. So Hatam Sofer and Rav Kalman, they said there is a Mahloket, it is hidden. We don't even feel it. But if you learn the Gemara in depth, you can find Mahloket. You know what the Mahloket? If I would have time, I will give you time to think, to challenge you. But you know what the Mishnah says? Do you remember I told you in the beginning of the Mishnah, the Shi'ur? The beginning of the Mishnah says, Mishenichnas Av mema'atin besimcha. Nachon? When Av is beginning of Av, you decrease Simcha. The Mishnah mention Adar?
No.
No. The Mishnah didn't mention Adar. Who mentioned Adar later on? The Gemara, the time he said, Rav Yehuda said, if you're talking about Av, I will talk to you about... So according to the Mishnah, you should not, there is no such halacha to increase Simcha in Chodesh Adar. There is no connection. So there is a kind of dispute. So he said, Adar connect to Av or doesn't connect to Av? So according to the Mishnah, there is no connection between Av and Adar. He said, do not increase happiness in Av, period. But now Rav Yehuda puts it, he add now Chodesh Adar. This adding is like dispute. Because it says, it's like dispute. He said, hey, Adar is also part of it. So now RAV Papa said there is sort of mahloket. What RAV Papa says, do both of them. When Av comes, you decrease Simcha. When Adar comes, you increase Simcha. Now you ask Rav Papa, how you do it? How you increase simcha? You know how? If you have a court, go on Chodesh Adar. That's the way. So you see, so how many now, according now Rif and Rosh, and this one, how many we have? How many Mimrot of Rav Papa we have?
11.
11. So what you ask? We said 10.
Yes.
And now we have 11. Before we said, oh, we have only 9. Now we've said 10, we have 11. If it's according Riv Rosh, according Riv Rosh, Rav Himnona is not Rav Himnona. Is Rav Papa, there is 11. So how we said? So now, look what they discover. Hagaon Rabbi Shimon Falik. He said, he was Talmid of Maharam Shik. Look line 30. You have line 30?
Yes.
He said, Matzinu shayu be'emet לרב פאפה 11 בנים. Indeed, Rav Papa had 11 children. No, what you ask now?
What happened to the 11th?
What happened? Yes.
Know what happened to 11? So why we mention only 10 in the Siyum?
Yes.
Nachon? He said, if we have 11, he said he have 11. Ki milvad Abba Mori. There he said, you remember one, his name was Abba Mori bar Papa. שהוזכר בסיום המסכת. We said Abba Mori bar Papa. היה לו עוד בן. He had another son שהיה נקרא Abba bar Papa. There is one Abba Mori and one Abba. So, anyway, it's still 11. נכון? One Abba Mori, one Abba, but one of them is not mentioned in the 10. What happened? גרסו גם שאבא בר פאפה ואבא מורי בר פאפה is one גרסה. One says that Abba bar Papa and Abba Mori is one person, the same one. But it cannot be the same one. They said he had 11 children. It must be 2. So why you count him? Look, אפשר לומר שכל בניו של הפאפה, אפשר לומר שכל אלו הבנים מתו. I always said, כל הבנים, I don't know if you know, Rav Papa, he buried all the 10 children. All the 10 children. Do you know another one like this?
Eyob.
Who? No, not 10. Not 10. Who buried 10 children? Rabbi Yohanan.
Hanan.
Rabbi Yohanan also had 10 children that buried them. It says in the book של שלט יוחסין, יש לומר שבנו זה שנקרא בשם אבא, that the first one that he said Abba ben Rav Papa, he died, and after he died, he got another baby. You understand? They never had 11 together. Abba, he passed away, and after he passed away, he had another baby was born. Now, you know what the halacha? If you have a son that was born after his brother passed away, what name you should give him?
You have to name it the same name.
Yes, the same name.
His brother.
However, but the halacha is the same name and add another name.
That's why I have a Mori.
That's Abba Mori. Bidyuk, exactly, you got it. Now it says Abba Mori, not only Abba. But that's why he had, 11 and 10, because he never had 11 together. He never had. When he passed away, then he got the 10th one. That's why we got, Be'emet Rav Papa had 11 children, and he had 11 times that he made Shalom Bayit. Hatam Sofer now is trying to give us why we mentioning them. First of all, the first reason that we really give a lot of credit to Rav Papa, because he was Shalom Bayit. He likes Shalom. Shalom is the most important thing, the best bracha. The best bracha of the world is Shalom. There is nothing better than Shalom. Because he was very makpid on Shalom Bayit and Shalom, he got gift from God. You know what he got gift from God? 10 children Talmidei Chachamim. The 10 children Talmidei Chachamim, you will see what they did 24/7. But that's one. But Hatam Sofer said, because Rav Papa hirba Shalom ben HaChachamim, he increased peace between Chachamim, ועל ידי זה הרבה שלום בעולם. When everybody saw the leader of the generation, Rav Papa, he always increase peace, and he will pay any price for peace. So the peace in the world was increasing. That's why they said, זכה לעשרה בנים תלמידי חכמים. שמזכירים אותם, that every time you have a סיום, we mention them to show how great it is to have shalom. Now, we all been there. We said, we all been married, we had children, we have grandchildren, whatever it is. But you and me knows that the best bracha in the house when you have shalom bayit. If you don't have shalom bayit, it's a gehinom. It's esh babayit. But if you have a bracha and you have shalom bayit, the bracha is going upon your children as well. Because if the husband and the wife know how to respect each other, the children growing up this way and they have bracha in their children. And because RAV Papa was so much for the shalom, he got really, the shalom. That's according to Hatam Sofer, why he got the 10 children. Even though it's a good reason, but I don't understand why when you end up a Gemara, Masechet, why dafka in the siyum? So he says, what the siyum? Now we have the Talmud and the Mishnah, nachon? We have Mishnah and we have Gemara, nachon? How many sdarim we have in the Mishnah? Shisha mi yodea, Shisha sidre Mishnah, nachon? In the Gemara we have 60 Masechtot. But it says, Rabbeinu, who wrote the Mishnah? Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, nachon?
Yes.
You know what the last Masechet? The last Masechet is Oxin. But you know what the last sentence, the last paragraph of the Shas in the Mishnayot? He said, B'ma'amar Shalom. It's end up, the Mishnah, the Mishnayot end up with Shalom. Amar Rabbi Shimon bar Halaf. מצא הקדוש ברוך הוא, לא מצא הקדוש ברוך הוא כלי מחזיק ברכה, אלא השלום. The kli, the vessel, to accept the bracha is the bracha shalom. You know which part is very, very important in 18?
ברכת כהנים.
That's not part of 18. Birkat Kohanim is extra. You don't do Birkat Kohanim when you have silent Amidah. What? Sim Shalom. Tova Uvracha. You know what is Sim Shalom? Shalom is the kli, the vessel. If you have the kli of Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Hayim, Hen, Vachesed, Rahamim, all the brachot you have. But the Shalom is the kli. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu even named himself, the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Shalom. It's so important. And RAV Papa was very, very strict about this. And Rabbi Yehuda Nasi saw this, and he ended up the Mishnah with the word Shalom. You will see in few minutes, you will see. So it said, אבל השלום לכן בכל סיום מזכירים אותו ואת בניו, שזוהי זכות גדולה. Now, why the ending is a סיום of the Gemara is a big issue, is a big. Who is the one that really control us not to study Gemara or not to study Torah? Yetzer Hara. Do you remember his name? Do you remember? Who was fighting with Yaakov? Samael. Sam is the Yetzer Hara. He is the angel of Esav. He was fighting with Yaakov. So tell me, if you are anti-Torah, why you are fighting? Who is older, Abraham, Yitzhak, or Yaakov? Abraham. So why you didn't fight against Abraham? Why you didn't fight against Yitzhak? Yaakov is the youngest one. You know why? The Satan, the Yetzer Hara, is trying to do every damage he can do to us. But what the most important, what the antithesis of the Malach, the Sam, you know what the antithesis is? Torah. Because if I win him, the Torah, he himself nullify. We nullify him. How could he defeat the Satan? Study Torah. So what he doesn't want you to do? To study Torah. So who is Torah? Abraham, Yitzhak, or Yaakov? Yaakov. So now he said, with Chesed of Abraham, he can manage. With Gvura of Yitzhak, he can manage. But Yaakov is the Torah. כן? תיתן אמת ליעקב. תורה ציווה לנו משה מורשה קהילת יעקב. Yaakov is the symbol of Torah. ויעקב אשתם יושב אוהלים, study Torah day and night. Do you remember the stick that he had? We learned a few weeks ago. Last week, what he had in the stick? Do you remember what he had in the stick? Oil. Why oil? To study Torah in the night. Okay, he said, so he was waiting for Yaakov. Yaakov was the big challenge for the Samech Mem. That's why he was fighting with him. What he was fighting with him, that he will forget, to take the Torah. So, but we have to understand the Satan, because the Satan would like to exist. He's fighting for his existence, even though it's antithesis of the Torah. But we have to fight against him. It's a big fight, big fight. So Haman in Purim, who is his grandfather?
Isaac.
Nachon, between him and whom? Amalek. And Amalek came from Esav. So Haman is the chariot of what? Of the Satan. He continued to do the job of Amalek and Esav, like the Samech Mem. He's the chariot for Samech Mem. So how can we fight against Haman? You know how? Study Torah. Study Torah. But look what he says in the Pasuk. It's amazing. He pil pur. You remember what is pur, nachon? The lottery. Hu agoral lifnei Haman. Why you said the word lifnei? What is lifnei?
In front of.
In front of or before?
Before.
Nachon? It could be before, could be in front of. But why you need this word? It's extra. He said, Ipil puru agoral Haman. Why lifnei Haman? Take the word Haman. Hey, mem, nun. What letter before hey? Before hey, what letter you have?
Nothing.
No, but in Aleph Bet,
Dalit.
Dalet. Before mem, what you have? Not after, before. Lamed.
Lamed.
Before nun, what you have? Mem.
Mem.
You say you got Dalet. Here, look at my mouse. Dalet Lamed Mem. You know what is Dalet Lamed Mem? If you want to switch the order, how you say to study?
Lilmod.
Lemad. Say, you want to destroy Haman? Look at the letter before Haman. The letter before Haman is to study. If you study Torah, you destroy Haman. Hipil pur agoral lifnei Haman. You have to be proactive. If you are proactive, you destroy Haman even before he implement his decree. So to merit התרופה נגד Haman, the medication against Haman is to study Torah. Do you remember who discovered this to us already? You remember when Yitzhak saw Yaakov and he was not sure it's Esav. Do you remember what he says? Hakol kol
Yaakov.
vayadayim yedeh
Isaac.
Esav. What is a kol Yaakov? You know what is kol? Kol is not kaf lamed, is kuf vav lamed. The voice. The voice, the sound is the voice of Yaakov. The hands are the hands of Esav. You know what is the meaning? What Yitzhak is teaching? What he's saying? He's not saying to himself. He's saying to us. You know when you win Esav? When I hear your voice in Bet Midrash study Torah. Hakol kol Yaakov. If I hear the voice of Yaakov, the hands of Esav is nullified, is nothing, is worthless. But has v'shalom, if you don't study Torah, you don't hear the voice of Yaakov, the hands of Esav is very strong. And we know in the history that sometimes he was very strong, especially in Hitler's time. כאשר יש לימוד התורה והכל נשמע, when you study Torah and Hashem can hear the voice of Yaakov, so the hands of Esav cannot even function. Now, who is the one that doesn't like the siyum? Samech Mem. He doesn't like the siyum. You know why he doesn't like the siyum? Two reasons give me. One reason, he doesn't like when you complete Masechet is a good sign for him or a bad sign for him?
Bad sign.
It's a bad sign. We study. He doesn't want us to finish. When you finish, you complete something in the Torah. So one thing, he doesn't like to siyum. But you know, worse than this, when we have siyum, what we do day after?
Dinner. We have
Continue to study another Masechet. He said, oh, we're going, from bad to worse. So the Samech Mem Aleph Lamed, he doesn't like siyum. He doesn't want siyum. הוא לא רוצה. כאשר עושים סיום, we start said, עכשיו, Yaakov was sleeping, and you remember the dream of Yaakov? What was the main thing in the dream?
angel.
Angels going up and down
And what?
on a stairways. Escalera.
Sulam. That's the main thing, Sulam. Remember. So we have Sulam. Now, he said he got up in the morning. Do you remember he said, Vayikatz? Look at line 7. Vayikatz Yaakov mishenato. And Yaakov got up from his sleep. נכון? Rabbi Yochanan Amar mishenato. How do you say to sleep?
לישון.
Mishenato, to sleep. But Rabbi Yochanan said, don't say mishnato, me'ashena. Mishnah. He got up from studying Mishnah in the night. Not Mishenato, Mishnato. From his Mishnah. So what Yaakov did all night? Study Mishnayot. In the morning, he said, wow, אכן יש Hashem במקום הזה? All of a sudden, he revealed Hashem. And now he said, B'siyum hashas. You know what he said, Siyum hashas? I told you before. You know what the last word he said? Hashem promised to tzaddikim. You know what Hashem promised to tzaddikim? How many house everybody has? Average. Everybody has one house. If you have more money, you can have 2 houses. Yes? One in Panama, one in Santa Clara, one in Coronado. Some people has house in Florida. Okay, more money you have, you can have more houses. How many houses you can have? 3, 4, 5. Who needs more? Who needs more? Even if you're a billionaire, you don't need. As a matter of fact, you need only one house. But you know what Hashem give to the tzaddikim? Listen to me, how much is good to be tzaddik. 310, not houses, worlds, olam, worlds, olamot, 310 olamot. Now, 310 olamot tzaddikim get. Do you know how they say? You know what they say? We say 300. You know which letter is 300? Somebody knows? Shin.
Shin.
Shin is 300. How much is 10? Which letter is 10?
Yud.
So what is 310? Shai.
Yes.
Shai.
Yes.
Do you know how to say gift in Hebrew?
Gift.
Matana.
Matana, nachon. Give me another word for matana. Shai. Shai is a gift.
Shai.
But he said, no, how you know he ended up the Mishnah? Look line 10. Lanhil ohava yesh. I'm going to inherit the people I love. Yesh. What is yesh? 310. I'm going to give to my tzaddikim 310. Look here, line 9. Shai olamot. 310 walls. Could you imagine me talking about houses? Could you imagine what Hashem is going to pay tzaddikim? Not house, not penthouse, not Coronado, not Santa Clara, not Florida, not New York. 310 walls. What a gift. And what the last word? The last word is yesh. Shai olamot yesh. Now, Asulam, as I said, Asulam is the antithesis of Samech Mem Aleph Lamed. You know why? You remember how you spell Samel? Samech Mem Aleph Lamed. You know what the Samech stand? Siyum.
Siyum.
You know what the Mem stand? Masechet.
Siyum Masechet.
Siyum Masechet en la'asot. Samel, the abbreviation of the word Samel, Siyum Masechet en la'asot.
Wow.
You see, look here. Siyum Masechet En La'asot. I put in red, Samech Mem Aleph Lamed. What Yaakov respond to him? Sulam. How you spell Sulam?
Samech.
Samech Lamed Mem. It could be with Vav. But it be right without Vav. Nachon? You know what is Sulam without Vav? Samech Lamed Mem. You know what is Samech? Siyum. כן? What is מם? מסכת, לעשות. סמך מם א' said סיום מסכת, לא לעשות. But the סולם, יעקב said סיום מסכת לעשות. סיום מסכת לעשות, abbreviation סולם. And סיום מסכת לעשות, abbreviation סמך מם א' למד. That's יצר הרע. So you know what the samech, you understand? So during, you know what is the challenge of somebody start masechet? You know what is the challenge?
Finish it.
Yes, very good. Very good to finish. So what happened to you during the studying? Who is jumping on you? Yes, now, remember cappuccino in the house? He came to the part of the cappuccino in the house. He said, that's a very hard question. You know what the first word of the Torah Sheba'al Peh? I tell you what, the first word is me'ematai. Since when we read Kriyat Shema of Arvit? Me'ematai. Okay? So what is the first letter?
Mem.
Mem. It's called Mem Ptuha. What is Mem Ptuha? It's regular Mem. Because we have final Mem. Nachon? What is final Mem? Mem Stuma. You know what the last word of the Talmud? Hashem yevarech et amo
Bashalom.
bashalom. What is the last letter of the Talmud? Bashalom.
Mem Sofit.
Mem Sofit. So we start Mem and Mem Sofit. Now, Ruti, you are very close to cappuccino. So give me a word in the Torah that start with Mem, regular Mem, and end up with Mem Sofit. You know it. I'm sure you know it.
Give her a hint.
What?
Give her a hint.
I give you a hint? Okay. I give you a hint which will give you 90% of the answer. What country we were slaves?
Egypt.
Egypt.
In Hebrew.
Mitzrayim.
Mitzrayim. What is the first letter?
Mem.
Mem. The last letter?
Mem.
Mem Sofit. What is between Mem and Mem?
Tzadik.
Tzadik Resh Yud.
Yes.
You know what is Tzadik Resh Yud? Yetzer. Yetzer Hara.
Wow.
So Yetzer, between Me'ematai, the first word, the Yetzer Hara tell you, stop, go eat ice cream, go talk, go give the phone call, go to the iPhone, go to the computer. That's Yetzer, between Mem and Mem. Between the first, that's why Yetzer Hara trying to disturb us to study Torah. Okay? Look, I put it here in big, line 18. You see? The first letter of the Talmud, Me'ematai korim et shema ba'arvit. Mem. And that's Hashem yevarech et amo b'shalom, Mem Sofit. The last letter is Mem Stuma. And between, Yetzer. What is Yetzer? Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara. So that's why he said Yetzer Hara. So now we are fighting. You see what a fight we have when people going to study Torah? The people studying Torah they have to get a lot of credit without any interruption. There is a lot of interruption. So now, do you know that Megillat Esther is considered, according to the rabbi, he said, when he said Torah Shebichtav, what you have in mind? What is Torah Shebichtav? Bereshit Shmot Vayikra Bamidbar Dvarim. Now, Rabbeinu Tzadok says, the ending of Torah Shebichtav is Megillat Esther. Line 4, Megillat Esther is Siyum Torah Shebichtav. Megillat Esther is the Siyum of Torah Shebichtav. Now, who doesn't like Megillat Esther? Haman.
Haman. Yes.
Because it's the Siyum. He doesn't like it. Samech Mem Aleph Lamed. Siyum Masechet El-Asot. Nachon? So he doesn't want. He wants to nullify Megillat Esther. That's why he had the final solution. That's why he wanted to destroy the Jewish people. He didn't want to have Megillat Esther. Because you have siyum. You know, remember the two reasons of siyum? First of all, you complete a job, a project. But when you finish, when you get the Torah, when you finish Torah shebichtav, what you start as a Torah? Torah sheba'al peh. Now, what we got in Purim, do you remember?
תורה שבעל פה.
תורה שבעל פה. We got תורה שבעל פה. He said, תורה קיימו וקיבלו, תורה שבעל פה, זה סמך מם. So he said, he doesn't want תורה שבעל פה. He said, that's why he tried to finish. He said to finish תורה שבעל פה. That's why Haman is the chariot of him, you know, he is the chariot of Samech Mem Aleph, and he doesn't want. So we see, so the bracha of RAV Papa and his children is always shalom. So we said, remember, so the last sentence of the Gemara, Hashem yevarech et amo bashalom. And because he said, that's why he got, yevarech et amo bashalom. And now, he said, the end of the Megillat Esther, you know what the last pasuk? Look line 16. Vedover shalom lechol zar'o. Also shalom. Everything is shalom. Now, I have to finish the shiur because I have to go to the airport. I just want to tell you, maybe next week, if you have time, you see all this is a copy from Kabbalah to tell you a surprise that the 10 children of Haman was the Gilgul, the 10 children of RAV Papa. And the 10 children of Papa were Gilgulim of the 10 children of Rabbi Yohanan. Are the same 10. So now they made the tikkun. The children of RAV Papa made the tikkun to know how to finish, to make siyum of the 10 children of Haman. But this, Be'ezrat Hashem, we continue next time. But now for today, will be enough for today. So we said we will finish the pasuk. Hashem oz la'amo iten. Hashem yevarech et amo bashalom. We have to pray for shalom. Then we don't have any war. We don't have any atomic bomb. We don't have anything. We said it's going to be so good in the world, that no weapons, nothing. You know what we will do? Study Torah. And you know what Samech Mem will do? Will not interrupt us. He will not try the opposite. He will support us. America, Russia, Korea, everybody will support us. What support us? To give us, money and this, that we should continue study Torah. Study Torah with a pleasure. Halavai, Be'ezrat Hashem, Bimera B'yamenu, Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Hasta luego, Rabbi.
Kubaros.